Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're looking at something a bit different, not just property, but a very specific business model behind a commercial development.
That's right. We're heading to Jamaica, virtually speaking, to look at Pinnacle commercial units.
Yeah, a project that really emphasizes merging high-end business with what they call exclusivity.
Exactly. And our mission today, looking at the material, is to really get under the hood of the strategy here. They're not just selling square feet.
Nah.
They're selling a system built on order, balance, and this idea of intentional diversity. It's about trying to boost opportunity for tenants through variety, not, letting rivalry take over.
Almost like a curated business community. So
Yeah.
we're mainly drawing from an article that details the design, the standards, and importantly, the requirements to actually get a unit there.
Which are quite strict.
They seem to be.
Yeah.
So let's dive right into that core philosophy because it really dictates everything else. Okay, so the absolute key principle, the thing that defines Pinnacle, is this strict one business per category policy, which is pretty unusual. Most developments, they just want rent.
Yeah.
They'll pack in 3 cafes if they think they can get away with it.
Absolutely. Pinnacle explicitly says no to that.
Yeah.
And that's probably the biggest single decision shaping their prestige.
All right.
We should probably look at the trade-off they're making. They seem willing to give up some potential density, maybe some easier rental income.
In exchange for protecting the brands already there.
Exactly. For guaranteed brand protection and maintaining that premium feel for the existing tenants. They frame it positively, not as a restriction, but as a strategic choice for long-term harmony.
But doesn't that limit things? I mean, surely that's a risk. Fewer potential tenants, maybe.
It's definitely a controlled risk, yeah. It means, say, the first interior design studio gets in, or a law firm, or maybe a specific kind of medical practice.
And that's it for that category.
That's it. You're the only one of your kind within that specific development. The source material really hammers this point. It protects your brand identity. It sustains client value because you're not fighting the business next door for the same customers.
Okay, so that completely changes the calculation for a business owner thinking about moving in. If you're, I don't know, a bespoke jeweler.
Right.
You move in, and you know for sure another high-end watch shop or jeweler isn't opening right beside you.
Precisely. They don't have to worry about that direct competition for the same foot traffic. They talk about building a professional ecosystem.
Like ecosystem, right?
So you still get foot traffic, potentially high-value foot traffic, but it's not being sliced 3 ways for the same service. The units around that jeweler might be, like you said, a law firm, maybe an architect, maybe a tech consultancy, different fields.
So it sounds like they're selling certainty, the certainty of being the main player in your niche within this very select high-quality environment.
And that certainty, that's the built-in advantage they promote. Their whole hypothesis seems to be that businesses thrive better when competition is, let's say, managed and diversity is planned.
Right, by cutting out duplication.
Yeah, by eliminating that direct competition on site, each business gets a kind of boost just by being part of this curated mix.
So if you're a serious business owner, the benefits are pretty clear. You get like maximum brand visibility within the complex, no direct rivals next door. Plus, you're surrounded by other businesses, presumably operating at a similar high standard.
And that's where the idea of natural synergy comes in. That's the term they seem to use.
Energy, okay.
When you put complementary high-value services near each other, you sort of create this internal flow of clients, potential clients anyway, things you don't necessarily have to advertise for outside the complex.
Okay, so let's make that concrete. The source material gives an example, right? Describe that customer journey.
Yeah, it paints a picture like imagine the accountant who suddenly realizes they need a better website for their firm, or the lawyer whose client needs advice on a real estate deal. If those other services, the web designer, the real estate agent, are right there, maybe next door or a few doors down.
It becomes super easy, almost frictionless.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Seamless, instant. That's the idea that the source calls the quiet genius of the model. You might go in to see your financial advisor.
Right.
But while you're there, maybe you notice the display of, I don't know, a bespoke furniture designer next door. Maybe you pop in, maybe you remember them for later.
Ah, so unplanned discovery.
Potentially, yeah. The success of one can feed the success of others because they aren't rivals. Your neighbors become, effectively, high-end referral partners, not competitors.
So the community itself is almost the marketing engine, ensuring everyone gains from the high standard and that sort of calm, focused vibe they're trying to create.
That seems to be the goal.
Okay, so if the strategy is all about this intentional quality, the physical spaces themselves have to match up. They need to signal that these aren't just any units, they're statements of intent, as the article puts it.
Definitely. The physical aspect is crucial for backing up the brand.
So what are the details? What do the spaces and the location tell us?
Well, they're designed for, sophisticated operations. The units are typically around 1,000 square feet, give or take, subject to confirmation, of course.
Right, always subject to confirmation.
But that size suggests a balance, right? Enough space to be functional, but still project a professional image. Aesthetically, the focus seems to be on open layouts, high ceilings, clean finishes.
Letting the light in.
Exactly. Allowing natural light to be a key feature, enhancing that refined professional atmosphere.
And the location. That has to support the premium feel, too.
Absolutely. They've apparently chosen a strategic spot, accessible to Jamaica's main business districts, key transport routes, and also near affluent residential zones.
So convenience and prestige.
And it seems they nail the practical stuff, too. Things like high visibility, ample parking, professionally maintained grounds. The basics, but done well.
Okay, but moving from the physical space to who gets to be in that space, we need to talk about the money.
Ah, yes. The financial commitment. This is maybe the most critical filter they use to maintain that exclusivity.
Let's talk about that filtering effect. The source gives some example figures, and they are quite high. We should stress, again, these are just examples like a rental covering 3 months at, say, USD $12,000 per month, or a purchase price around USD $600,000. These can change.
Absolutely. Always subject to change and confirmation upon inquiry. Crucial note.
But strategically, why anchor the price points so high? What's the purpose beyond just market rate?
Well, it seems the pricing is the primary barrier to entry. These aren't just numbers pulled out of thin air. They feel like an intentional mechanism.
To ensure only serious players get in.
Exactly. Serious, financially stable businesses who are genuinely committed to the long-term vision of the place. The high cost acts as a kind of risk management for the whole community.
How so?
It helps safeguard the investment of every other tenant. You know your neighbor has met the same high financial threshold, implying stability and commitment. It reduces the risk of vacancies or less suitable businesses coming in later.
Okay, so you're essentially paying a premium not just for the space, but for the guaranteed quality and stability of your neighbors, making sure the whole ecosystem stays strong.
That appears to be the logic, yes.
Right, so the exclusivity rule, one business per category, and the high financial bar are the first hurdles.
2 big ones.
But maintaining that premium standard over time, that requires ongoing effort, right? Management and vetting must be key.
Absolutely. The management seems very focused on preserving the value for everyone involved. They have stringent rules in place.
So what else besides the one business per category rule? What are these other non-negotiables that keep it feeling premium?
It seems to boil down to integrity and consistency. So that means rigorous tenant screening. They look beyond just the money.
The business itself.
Yeah, the professionalism, the reputation. They need to be confident the business is solid, not just that the owner can write the check. And then there's the upkeep of the shared spaces.
Maintaining appearances.
To first-class commercial standards, consistently. They want visual and operational harmony, basically preventing the place from looking tired or cluttered over time.
Okay, so getting in isn't just about paying the rent or the purchase price. It sounds like you have to prove you belong there.
That's the impression.
So walk us through those requirements. If someone listening is thinking this might be for them, what documents do they actually need to provide to show they're credible, financially sound?
Okay, the onboarding process seems designed for thorough due diligence. Prospective tenants need to submit 5 main things according to the source.
5 key documents.
Yes. First, the standard stuff. A completed customer information form. And proof of funds that could be a bank statement or an official letter from the bank.
Okay, standard enough.
Then robust identification is required. Not just one ID, but both a driver's license and a passport.
Both, okay.
Plus a recent utility bill to verify their current home address.
Verifying the person behind the business.
Exactly. And the final piece is specifically about operating legally in Jamaica.
Which is
the Jamaican TRN card. That's the tax registration number. Or an official letter confirming the TRN.
So proving tax compliance and local business legitimacy.
Essential, yes. It ensures the tenant is a properly registered entity contributing to the formal economy. The whole package, really, is designed to confirm every tenant is credible, professional, and stable. It reinforces that whole commitment to long-term quality. Hashtag tag outro. So if you step back and look at the whole package, what Pinnacle seems to be offering is, well, clarity, structure, in a business world that's often messy and competitive.
Yeah, visually cluttered sometimes, too.
Right. They're committing to a framework where successful brands can operate without constantly battling the business next door. It seems their goal isn't to be the biggest development in Jamaica.
But the smartest.
The most strategically intelligent one, perhaps?
Yeah.
That seems to be the pitch.
And that idea of intentional design, it really connects back to something the founder, Dean Jones, who's a realtor-associate with Jamaica Homes, apparently says.
Oh, yeah. What's that?
He often emphasizes that the real estate is more than property. It's a pathway to financial independence and legacy.
Interesting.
So this development feels like it's built with that philosophy in mind. It's not about quick flips. It's about creating a stable, long-haul ecosystem for lasting success for everyone in it.
Indeed. A very structured approach to building wealth, it seems. So, reflecting on this model, this controlled growth, this planned diversity, maybe a final thought for you listening.
Okay.
What potential business categories, maybe ones that seem totally unrelated at first glance, like, say, a boutique tech firm and maybe a high-end chocolatier?
Okay, random pairing.
Right. But what pairings like that, if forced together as neighbors in a closed system like Pinnacle, might actually create the most surprising, effective, natural synergy? What unexpected connections could spark wealth creation between high-value professionals who wouldn't normally interact?
Interesting. What hidden overlaps exist? That's definitely something to mull over. A fascinating exercise in strategic thinking. All right. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive into the Pinnacle Standard. We'll catch you next time.